This morning. Thanks so much. This prosperity mindset where we believe more faith, more family, more prosperity is the key to our success. If you're learning and you're growing and you look forward to this every single morning, give us some feedback and let us know that. Miss Danielle, good morning. Appreciate you jumping on. And do me a favor, hit that share and invite for me. And we'll get this thing started here in about a minute or so. Give everybody a chance to get settled in, here. And we're here every single Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. 7 a.m. Pacific. Yep, new family, you're just growing. You know, building that family, building family. That's what it's all about. Faith, family, prosperity, and that's what it's all about. So we're excited about what we got going on every single morning here in our life. And Miss Carletta Eccles up here in Detroit. Yep, family's growing. Our family is definitely growing. Family is growing. That's what it's all about. It's Up Church. And, making sure we secure our families and doing the things that we know that are conducive to us, doing the right things and having the right lifestyle and getting the right results. My good friend Sheldon Schmitter up there in Toronto, Canada, good morning. Miss Lamorla, Miss May, good morning. I appreciate you ladies. Miss Anna, as always, thanks so much for the love and support. I appreciate all the love and support. Miss Karen, my good friend, appreciate that. Thanks so much for stopping by this morning. Thanks for sharing and commenting on all the information and content that we're sharing with each other. Miss Poe, good morning, New York City. Thanks so much for stopping by this morning. Thanks, Brother Greg. We appreciate it. Your family as well. You know, that's one of the things I love about life, and you get a chance to really build incredible relationships and build your family. And your family is a couple different families. You got your spiritual family, you got your actual family, and then you have your business family. And I love all my family, the ones that I truly care about and truly care about me. So we're excited about that. Mr. Pope, good morning. Miss Mara, good morning. My little sister down there, Texas. Miss Giovanna in Dallas, good morning. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate everybody jumping on the prosperity mindset. We're here every single Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. Good morning, Dean from over there in London. Miss Wanda, good morning. This morning, are you guys ready? I appreciate it. Thanks so much, Miss Karen. I remember back in the day, we did some great things together and going to do some great things together in our future. So excited about that. Miss Patricia, good morning. Brooklyn, thanks so much. You know, one of the things that I love about life is we have an opportunity to control our life and to control our destiny. Good morning, little sis. And this morning I'm going to talk about something, in corporate America, when I was running my divisions and running my company, we had to promote, we had to demote, and we had to terminate. And that was part of what we did every single day. And there was some good, some bad, and some indifference in it, but it was something that was absolutely necessary. And this morning, I want to speak to something that is incredibly important, is that we as the CEOs of our life, we got to understand that there's some people in our lives that we're going to promote. There's going to be some people in our lives that we're going to demote. There's going to be some people in our lives that we must terminate. And, one of the things that's hard about life and in business, sometimes we don't want to make those decisions. We kind of let those decisions kind of take a life of their own, and we really never get the results that we want because the environment that we're in is not conducive to us having the results that we need to have. And my challenge to you today is that I want you to really take a good snapshot and take a look at where your life is right now, your faith life, your family life, your business life. And I want you to look at and take a complete inventory. I remember when I was going to the NFL Combine years ago, they made us take a body inventory. And they basically told us to write every little ache and pain, nook and cranny that we felt in our bodies, to write it down. And each one of the teams had to take a look at that as they gave us our physicals. And I remember saying, man, write everything. The guy said, I want you to write everything down. And I started writing down every little thing that was going on in my body, what I felt, good, bad, or indifferent. And that was the inventory. And I had to take that inventory, and we gave that to the NFL. They gave us a physical and did all the things that they do and drug test us and all the different things that they do. But one of the things that I look at in my life is that there's times in my life where I kind of neglected and kind of ignored my inventory. The people, the places, the things that I was around me and I was dealing with every single day, I kind of ignored them. And sometimes when I look back, I said, you know what? There's some times in my life, there's some people that I should have promoted. I should have gave more time. I should have gave more love. I should have gave more support, and I didn't. And then there's some times when I should have demoted some people that I was giving too much of my time, too much of my love, too much of my support, and I didn't demote them. There are some times in my life where, where I should have terminated some people a lot sooner. I should have terminated some circumstances. I should have terminated some thoughts. I should have terminated some of the environment, the people that were in my environment, and I let it fester. And guess what? The results weren't as good as I wanted them to be because I just failed to promote, demote, and terminate in a timely manner. And I think in our life, and it was one of the biggest mistakes that I made in my life. As I look back, I said, I should have cut my ties earlier. I should have got away from that earlier. I should have removed myself earlier. I should have removed that thought, that thing, those circumstances. I should have promoted more. I should have demoted more. I should have terminated more. And I had to take a look and step back and say, as I look at my life today, there's some things I got to promote more. There's some things that I got to demote more. And there's definitely some things I got to terminate. And as entrepreneurs, as faith-based people, we have to make sure that we understand this is a part of the process. It's a part of the process of becoming what we want to become and what our Creator has built us to become and have. What we do is we slow down the process if we don't promote and demote and terminate the things that He makes very visible to us in our lives, in our spiritual life, in our business life, in our personal relationships. It's so evident. And when I look back on my life, it was so evident that I should have terminated that, but I didn't. I thought it was going to change. I thought it was going to turn a different way. I thought, and you know what? I overthought it. And I just said, you know what? What's in front of me is in front of me. I'm going to make a decision what's in front of me. And there's people in my life today that I know as you get older and you get wiser, and you get smarter, you have more success, you understand you need to promote them more. You need to be around them more. You need to love them more. You need to support them more. You need to be there for them more. You need to sow into them more. And then there's some individuals that we've been sowing into, some people that, man, they need to be demoted. We're putting all this energy and our faith and our time and our love and our support into them, and they're not going to change. You don't see anything changing in the future about that person, that place, or them circumstances. And we continue to keep thinking and hoping and wishing and praying something's going to change. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just not going to change. It is what it is. And we must demote that thought. We must demote that thing. We must demote that, whatever that circumstances is, we got to demote it. And sometimes we can demote it to promote it later if it comes around, if it changes, if it grows. But there's certain things that need to be terminated immediately. And one of them is a jealous spirit. If there's anybody in your circle that has a jealous spirit, that is throwing dirt, that is throwing trash. And one of the things I learned from Ken Rowland, one of my mentors, he said, Cedric, when you throw dirt, you lose ground. When you throw dirt, you lose ground. So when people are throwing dirt and you're on the other end of the phone call and you're listening to the dirt, you're just as bad as the person throwing the dirt. If you're throwing dirt, you're losing ground. And one of the things that I learned in my life is that I used to take that and try to, combat that with war of words, or war of energy, a war of I'm going after them. They said that it's not true. I'm going after. You know what? The best thing you can do is silence yourself and go do what you do. Go do what you do. Success kills it. And the reason why they're talking about you is they look up to you, but their ego and their lack of character won't allow them to tell you that you're somebody that they look up to. And once I understood that, I said, that's a compliment. And one of my mentors said, Cedric, that's a compliment. They just don't have enough personal growth and enhancement in their life to tell you that they look up to you. So what they try to do is tear you down, man. And I said, you know what? You're right, Ken. He said, why would you get into the business of when people are trying to tear you down, try to go to the person that's in the mindset of tearing people down and try to build them back up? They're not in a position to be built back up. They're in a demolition mode. Their mentality is demolition. They believe the more people they tear down, the bigger their building is going to be. And it's actually the exact opposite. And one of the things that I think that why God has really looked at my life and really and give me blessings beyond my wildest dreams is that I've never been a jealous person. I've never been a person that just try to just deliberately go out and hurt and say stuff and just tear people down for no. I've never been one of those individuals. I've always celebrated my brothers and sisters in business and life. And I always wanted them to win. And one of the things I learned is the more people that are winning, the better our society is. I never wanted to be one of those individuals that went out with a hammer and a chisel and try to tear people down. And it's funny because it always comes from people that are not getting results. If you look back on it, and I look back on my life, the people that I tried to keep around, I felt sorry for them. So instead of me demoting them or terminating them, I tried to keep them around. And, you know, it was the worst thing that I ever did, because it just contaminated me, contaminated my environment, and it wasn't pristine anymore. It was a dangerous situation. So as you go out there and you come across these types of individuals, don't try to battle them. The battle's not yours anyway. The best thing you can do is just do what you do. Stay within the confines of who you are. Don't go out of character. Don't say things out of character. I've had all kind of crazy things said about, you know what? I look back on it and I say, you know what? If that's what you want to say and do, that's up to you. But one of the things I have learned is this. It's usually the people that are not getting results that do the most of the talking. It's usually the ones that have never been to levels that you've been to that are trying to tear what you built down. And I never get into the tear down business. I just don't get into it. I'm into building people up. I'm into building the kingdom up. I'm into helping people grow. I'm not into tearing people down or tearing companies down or people down. That's not what I'm built on. And as leaders, I just, you know, one of the things I want to teach here is that we're always promoting positivity. If it's not positive, just remove yourself. And you know, it's funny because the more you have success in your life, the more you grow in your life and your business, the more it's going to come. And I remember when I was young in my life, and when I was having tremendous success at a young age, I didn't understand why people would celebrate you to your face and stab you in your back the next minute. But that's society. That's just the lack of people, who they are and the character that they are. So just remember, if you're on the other line listening to it, you're just as bad as the person trying to bring you information to tear somebody else's down. So you know what I usually do? When that happens to me, I say, hold on a second. Let me get the person on the three-way so they can listen in, and the person will hang up. I never, ever a part of something negative. My grandmother taught me this, old lady from Natchez, Mississippi. And I love her more and more every single day as the life lesson she taught me. She said, boy, if you dig a ditch, dig two. If you dig a ditch, dig two. Don't be out there plotting negativity and hoping people fail and hoping people struggle, because it might just come back to your house. It might show up at your front door, and you might not like the address. It might be the address that you're living in right now. And you know what? I don't want to live that way. I want to live my life with peace and harmony and success and prosperity and abundance, because karma, it will come back. It will come back. It always finds a way to reconnect with the individuals that created the negative environment. So I don't want to be in that environment. And you know what? We must promote, we must demote, and we must terminate. And my challenge to you today is that if you're not where you want to be, including myself, I got to take a look at who I need to promote, what I need to promote, where I need to promote, and who I need to be promoting with. And then I also got to take a look at who needs demoted and who needs terminated. And it's a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute, second-to-second decisions that we make every single day.